Hey Arrows, I'm the Book Archer and you are watching, wait, I did that backwards. Hey guys, I'm Kashan and you are watching the Book Archer. I have my long awaited Shatter Me trilogy review. I said I was going to do this review for you guys, so here it is. So first and foremost, for those who don't know, the Shatter Me trilogy is a dystopian trilogy about a main character named Juliet, and Juliet has a deadly touch, so whoever touches her, she basically kills them. So she can't touch people or have any contact, and she has been locked away in this like insane asylum for I think it's 264 days or something like that, until out of nowhere she gets a roommate and things basically take off from there. So let's go ahead and talk about the first installment, Shatter Me. I had very low expectations going into this first book just because a lot of people don't really like Shatter Me that much, or it's their least favorite in the trilogy. And there are a lot of people who've read this one and they haven't continued on with the rest of the series, but I actually ended up enjoying it. Might have been because the expectations were low, had something to do with it. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked Taheera Mafi's writing style because it just rang true to the character, if that makes sense. It kind of helps you understand Juliet's thought process. I read this book in one sitting. It was really fast paced. It was just so easy to breeze through. And this is definitely a character-driven story. If you don't like Juliet, it's okay, because you can definitely see this is the beginning stages of her character development. I really liked this book overall, and I was excited for the next installment. And I really liked Unravel Me a lot more because it introduced a lot more characters into this world, and you got to see different aspects of characters from the first book. I gave Unravel Me 4.5 stars. I enjoyed it even more than the first one, but there was not enough Warner in this book. It took like half the book to get to Warner, and I felt like I was like waiting on him to pop up. But once he finally did, oh my god, it was so freaking worth it, because this is the book where I began to start seeing why people love Warner so much. Chapter 62, Chapter 62. If you've read the Shatter Me trilogy, you know what I'm talking about. You really start to see the different layers of the characters. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the side characters in here. You get to see other elements, more people with superpowers, and like all of that type of stuff. So Unravel Me is the longest installment, but it's still really good. Juliet is still a little bit annoying in this book, but I definitely feel like it picked up the pace a lot. Because when I first started this, I was skeptical that it was going to be more of the same in the last book, but Unravel Me was so good towards like the second half. Oh my goodness, I really enjoyed it. The third book in this trilogy and the conclusion novel is Ignite Me, and I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I like freaking devoured this book. Warner was, it's just so hard to deny as a character. This really solidified Taheera Mafi's writing style for me. And now let me say this. A lot of people read Ignite Me and they didn't necessarily like it. Like, it didn't make them understand, I guess, the Shatter Me hype, the Shatter Me trilogy hype, but I really feel like these 3 books were a complete story collection, and it was satisfying to me. Now, could I take some more story with Juliet and Warner? Yes, I could, just because the character development was impeccable. That's what made Ignite Me so great. It was basically everything that you wanted from the trilogy. You got it in this book, and there was a ton of stuff that happened in the first book that made you look like, what the world, that got explained in here. I really enjoy the mystery of the villain throughout this series, and the main thing about this series that I enjoyed was the character development. There was so much character development throughout these installments. Each book got better and better, and that's really what I look for in a trilogy. I really feel like I said this in another video, if you've only read Shatter Me and you haven't read the other 2 books, you're really doing yourself a disservice. This is truly a complete story. I would rather you say I read this trilogy and didn't like it than I read Shatter Me and didn't like it. The other 2 books Like, you just can't read Shatter Me and not read Unravel Me and Ignite Me. You can't do it. Overall, I gave this trilogy a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So is it worth reading 3 books for? Yes, I would say so. I feel like Warner stole the show in this trilogy. He is the most likable character. Juliet got on my nerves a lot, but you have to be understanding of her situation. So I also really enjoyed Kenji as a side character. He was very unique in the best friend aspect. He was a male, but he was a best friend to one of the male characters and the female characters. There is like a big love triangle throughout this trilogy, so if you don't like love triangles, do not pick this up. These are really quick reads. Just give them a chance and they will definitely stick with you. I hope that was informative. I want to give a special shout out to Key the reader. I think that's who it is. She always talks about how much she loved this trilogy. She really was like adamant, like, girl, just read the whole thing. You'll love it. And she was right. If you read this trilogy, fangirl with me in the bottom bar. And if you haven't picked up the Shatter Me trilogy, or if you've decided not to continue on with it, please comment down below. Definitely keep checking back for more videos, and I will talk to y'all later.